You want to interrail Europe, but you're thinking, how does it work? I need more information. Then you've come to the right place, because in this video, I'm going to tell you everything that I wish someone would have told me before my first time interrailing. Starting with point number one, the basics. Let me just explain the very basic real quick to make sure we're all on the same page. Interrail is an organization that lets you buy train passes which are not limited to one specific ride. You can use those passes on most trains and some ferries in 33 European countries, which is huge. You can choose between a one country pass, which is valid in just one country, with the exception of the Benelux pass, which is valid in Belgium, Netherlands and in Luxembourg, and the global pass, which is valid in all 33 countries. You can choose between various different passes, ranging from a pass you can use on 5 days of your choice in a 1 month time frame, up to 3 months of continuous travel. Now let's talk about what I think you should know before leaving for your trip. The Rail Planner app and Google Maps. Basically, your two best friends on this trip. Learn how to use these apps. Especially the Rail Planner app isn't perfect, but an essential tool, and you can spend hours planning routes for your trip with this app. And if you combine your logical thinking with the features of the app, you're very well prepared. Also, you will probably need Google Maps to navigate around the cities. For that, you can use the offline maps feature if you don't have mobile data. So definitely also know the basics of that app, especially the public transport feature comes in handy in some cities. Reservations. The website where you book reservations is very easy and very self-explanatory. Don't worry about that. I remember I was super nervous about reservations before my first time interrailing because I didn't find any information online. But it's super easy, and also they have fixed prices so they don't get more expensive over time, like for example airplane tickets do, so there's really nothing to worry about. Book reservations and accommodation as soon as possible. You don't have to, but if you do want to book reservations, do it as soon as possible. On my first interrail trip, me and my friend wanted to book a ferry through interrail, but we waited with the booking, and when we actually wanted to book it, it was gone. Trains are less dramatic, you usually have a lot more spots available, but here too, you might get more limited with your options over time. There's no due date until when you have to have booked the reservations. You can absolutely do that last minute. Just be aware that in some cases, in my case it was in Spain and France a couple of years ago, the reservations are sent to you via mail, which obviously takes a couple of days. But don't worry, before you actually book the ticket, you can see online if it's a paper ticket or an e-ticket. Accommodation. You will probably stay in hostels or Airbnbs. Be aware that here the prices might get more expensive over time. Also, if you wait with your booking, the cheaper alternatives might be booked out by the time you finally decide to book. So if you have fixed plans, try to book as soon as possible. But of course, if you want to stay flexible, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Just be aware that the prices might get higher than what you see now. It's not going to be triple the price. Just have it in the back of your head that it might turn out a little more expensive than what you expect. Alternatively, I can recommend you Couchsurfing if you want to experience more of the local vibe and also maybe save some money. I recently posted a video about the basics and how to get started on Couchsurfing, which I'm going to put the link to at the end of this video. Pack as light as possible. I can't stress this enough. Just take what you really need. If you think, yeah, I might need it, then just don't pack it. The comfort of having a light backpack is so valuable, and if you don't really need something, it's easy to go without it if you don't even have it. And if everything goes wrong, you can probably just buy the item again in the country you go to. I usually just take a medium-sized backpack even if I'm traveling for multiple weeks. Then I pack clothes for 5 weeks, a towel, toothbrush and that kind of stuff, and a smaller bag to walk around during the day with. That's it. Make sure you have an overview of the train stations. What does that mean? Sometimes train stations have 2 separate sets of tracks. So there might be 2 track 4s, for example. I learned it the hard way when I was in Italy and I missed a train and they told me I was at the wrong track 4. But if you know that the possibility of 2 separate sections existing in one big train station exists, it's not a problem at all to find the correct one. I just didn't know. And a little bonus tip, discount offers. Interrail has these discount offers of 10, 15, sometimes even 20% off their global passes, which come pretty frequently. My advice is wait for one of those offers if you don't want to leave in the next couple of days already. Of course, you can book your hostels and flights before your interrail pass, so there's absolutely no problem with waiting for a discount offer. If you now want to know more about staying with locals and saving a lot of money on accommodation, check out this video that I made on Couchsurfing a couple of days ago.